Hey, what's up guys, Mashin here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. This one is jam-packed. Today we're going to be talking about some financials that have recently hit the public that are very interesting if you're invested into Stockholm, Antwerp, or pretty much any major CSGO capsule. Let's hop on into it. Now obviously we're going to be talking about PGL here, as they were the company that hosted Stockholm and Antwerp, and recently their financial statements have come out. I want to give a huge shout out to Petrie, who actually posted this on Twitter, and I believe he kind of goes into it in his own video. I haven't really watched it too much, but basically these financials have come out and there's some very interesting pieces that you need to know about, especially if you're invested into Stockholm and Antwerp like I have mentioned. But first, please go ahead and check out today's sponsor, D-Market. The sponsor for today's video is D-Market. Now D-Market is the one-stop shop for CSGO. If you're looking to buy skins, they've got tons of different methods on how you can deposit, and when you're looking at the skins themselves, you just need to sort by best discount or by best deals depending on what you're looking for. Selling on D-Market is the place to be, with only a 5% fee that's much lower than the competition, and they've even got an instant sell feature if you need your money immediately, and it's personally the one I use. And when you're looking to cash out, it's super easy and they've got tons of different options. And they've also got their trading feature, which is going to give you a little bit better of a rate than if you were to just sell. Make sure to check out D-Market with the top link in the description, and back to the video. Now there is a ton of stuff we need to talk about. First up, you need to know that when a company hosts an actual event, there's going to be a lot of money moving around. First up, we got to talk about the capsules. 50% of every capsule bought is going to go to the teams. Those are the teams that are in the capsule. So for the Legends capsule here, you can see the 8 teams that are getting a share of that money. And considering how many capsules are bought, this usually allows a large amount of money to go to the teams. But what about the other 50%? Well, we don't have the exact breakdown. This is kind of the rough estimate of it. Goes to like Valve, PGL, event costs, and just total expenses for running the event. I don't know if Valve commissions PGL or how everything works specifically, but I believe it's a pretty safe presumption that a lot of this money is splitting between Valve and PGL. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the actual document itself. Now this is through 2021, as when I'm recording this, 2022 is yet to be released, as obviously that's not released immediately after the New Year strikes. But for 2021, they had $86 million in turnover. Now I don't believe it actually denotes what currency here. We're either going to be working with most likely the euro or the dollar, and honestly, in my opinion, it's not that relevant. But basically, there's $86 million of turnover here, which is their revenue. Their net profit they brought in was $10 million, which is an extremely large amount. But the thing is, the only numbers we're really concerned with is the turnover, in my opinion, because they're going to be kind of using that money to make sure the event goes smoothly. And as someone who went to Stockholm, I can tell you that that event did not go smoothly, and that event should have been so much more developed than it actually was. It was a great event, but still, it's very interesting here because we can see that there was a lot of money going to PGL in 2021. But I want to warn you, because that number looks very deceptive if you don't know what's going on. In 2021, PGL had themselves a great year to be in fact, because they also hosted the biggest Dota 2 event of the year, the Tier 10, and therefore they had a staggering $40 million prize payout for that actual tournament. So to say all of that money is coming from CSGO would just be incorrect. I can't tell you how much is really coming from Dota 2, because $40 million, 38.5 million of that came from Dota 2 themselves, the battle pass system. That's how they do it instead of having the capsules. But I think it's quite obvious that there is a large amount of money coming from CSGO and Dota 2 into the company there. And this is the biggest thing I want to point out. They moved a ton of money in 2021. In fact, they moved almost 10 times the amount they saw in 2020. But the thing is, it's very deceptive because this is the first time they had hosted the Dota 2 International since 2018. And if you look on the chart here, you can see 2018 was also a year where they saw massive money entering into the scene for them. Now, I don't really like talking about Dota 2 because I don't know a ton about it, but basically they hosted that for 2018. It got about half the prize pool and they generated about half the revenue. So there's definitely going to be a majority of that leaning towards Dota 2 in my opinion, and that's just basically something I want you to know, especially considering this is a very interesting document to look at, considering it's the only company out there that's an actual major event organizer investor that has their financials public, at least at this point. After that, I want to get back into pretty much the rest of the market. First up, we want to talk about these patch packs. Patch packs for Stockholm have been going absolutely crazy, and it's going to be very interesting to see if they make a return in the future, because patch packs are not something that we saw very desirable for the previous major. Especially with Stockholm, there was very few people that were interested in them, and we're seeing a lot of almost, I want to say, manipulation with these, but the quantity is so low that very few people can take over the market for this and raise the price. And since they are somewhat desirable, they have some demand going for them, people are still buying them. It's something I personally am just avoiding. I have been for a while. I picked up a couple of these at a couple dollars, but honestly, I don't think this is a smart investment for the majority of people, but that's just my opinion. After that, I want to go over my thoughts for the winter sale. Now, the winter sale has not concluded necessarily, but it's pretty much over. When we usually see price drops for item, it's right when that winter sale releases, and obviously the winter sale has already released, and it's time to kind of move on and see what the impact was for the market. First thing I want to note is we're seeing a lot of stable cases not really affected by this really significantly. I mean, we see the breakout case here, there's not really much going on. You can see the glove case here, there was a little bit of a dip here. This is the only one that I can honestly say I see a dip on the graph for. We look at something even like the Spectrum 2 case, not a very expensive case, it's not really doing much, and it wasn't really impacted by the winter sale at all. The Dreams and Nightmares case was one that potentially could have been argued that it was impacted by the winter sale. It's actually on its way back up right now, which is very interesting, and I would say most likely due to the fact that we have really not seen any skins come out for CSGO this year. A lot of people are leaning towards another case coming out super quickly. Now, I want to take a quick second to talk about this because this has become a rather large problem. We're seeing a lot of people pretty much going out there and saying that Source 2 is confirmed and Operation is coming soon, whatever. It's not really something I like to do because I think it's super deceptive, considering the information they are using is no better information than what we've had in the past. Honestly, you can go ahead and say these people on Twitter are credible, and I don't necessarily disagree, but to go on YouTube and say it with absolute certainty is so deceptive, and these people just do not care. I don't want you to be kind of deceived by this because it's so deceptive, so disrespectful to the audience to believe that they're not going to be smart enough to figure out what's going on, and something you should be in the know about, because honestly, I don't think it's good for anyone except the person who publishes the video. And then back to a little bit more of a happy topic, we've got some free Steam XP out there for you. All you're going to have to do is head on over to the Steam Points shop. Now, this is something I've mentioned a couple times, but now that the winter sales badge is actually released, probably the last time I'm going to mention this until we see that summer badge come back around, but basically head on over to the Steam Points shop, go ahead, click on that seasonal badge, and go claim level 40. It's going to cost you 40,000 Steam points, which is equivalent to, I believe, 400 USD spent, but honestly, if you're buying capsules in game, especially if you don't have any tax, you could easily resell those on the market for no loss, usually at a later date. But that's pretty much all I got for you. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.